I have not once seen a ghost who can't open a door in a paranormal-related video, like they usually are very capable. Unless the door is completely locked, they often keep on knocking or messing with the doorknob until it opens. But the door in the next video, the ghost in the next video seems to be new in town, still trying to figure out how everything works. We have Tristan, the man whose house has been haunted ever since I started this channel, or somewhere close to that time frame. And despite how long this has been the case inside his house, he still hasn't bought an EMF detector until like the last video. How terrifyingly clumsy. It gets even more clumsy once you know that these ghosts in his house most likely invited a new fellow to haunt the man's house, and he is still figuring it out. How did I know though? In the end, I myself am a human, so I can't see these ghosts. Well, based on the video where the cat has alerted Tristan that something off is happening in the bathroom, he stepped up and approached the bathroom and noticed that the door handle was being handled by some freaky entity. It was as if the ghost was trying its hardest to open the door, and after a consistent number of attempts, it finally opened. The door wasn't even locked in the first place, so how it wasn't opening from the get-go is what I call paranormal. The other night, while he should have already bought the EMF detector, according to the video description, he didn't use it. Like, what is he waiting for? Anyways, the guy heard a noise from the living room, and once he turned on these lights, the chair moved right in front of him. He let it settle in before taking a closer look at that chair, when knocks echoed right behind him. What surprised me the most was the fact that the bathroom didn't have a toilet. I did live in a house where we had the same system, but I never thought that they'd do that in Europe. One thing about the next video that I didn't understand, as if I have ever understood most of the videos I share, is the fact that it's saying a figure was seen appearing. Now let me get this straight before it starts shifting its interest into other genders. The video is of Anderson, the man who doesn't need much representation, not because he is well known. No, it's just that, like, why would you want to know so much about him in the first place? Regardless, the man serves in the Air Force Army of the US as a medic. The other night, while he was alone in the apartment recording a video, which I'm not so sure for what purpose, he heard a strange noise coming from behind. Despite him being alone, he stood up and went to check, worried and a little trembling, but he couldn't find anything that could have caused that noise. When he sent the video to his wife, she noticed something and had her own observation of what she had seen. She told him to change his haircut. But in all seriousness, she told him that a figure was standing in the doorway behind him, which later disappeared. Though what I have noticed is absolutely nothing.
This literally gave me the chills after sending my wife a Snapchat.
At least I'll be home, and so we can prepare for Halloween. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, I just had to check this email real quick. So I'll be home in a sec, but I love you crazy.
I don't understand. How could she have spotted a figure in there? Like, I have watched the video 5 times while becoming one with my screen to be able to spot anything, but I came up short. Women do see stuff men really don't pay attention to. I can't tell you how many times I have seen the video in the next spot in the recent week. Like, every video in the genre I click on features the sequence of videos I'm about to share with you. I was even scared that I might go to sleep, and the first dream I see shows the events that took place in the video. Now, the story goes something like this. There was once a lady who decided to stay in a hotel for a couple of nights, not knowing the consequences of her actions. Here comes the noisy one again asking, what kind of consequences does someone have to deal with for staying in a hotel? Other than not being able to afford it, possibilities can be endless if you use your imagination. The lady was walking down the hallways when she heard footsteps behind her. Before she panicked, she thought she could outsmart this fella, so she pretended to be on a video call. Maybe that weirdo would realize that it's not safe to be chasing after her, but instead, he started chasing her even faster like a bull, at least based on the footsteps she was hearing. She then decided to hide in the elevator, which for some reason didn't want to function as intended. Later, which takes me to the videos I have here for you, one of the staff members decided to record the aftermath while he and his fellow workers investigated the incident. In the CCTV footage, in the hallway, right where that girl was running, they saw a shadow figure passing by, followed by an unexplained phenomenon where a rook that was in a bowl flew off of its place and fell to the ground. This scene was enough to call it a poltergeist, but the other night, while that crew member was recording himself answering some questions, a sound from nowhere distracted his attention. The series didn't end there. As the man was checking on the room that lady booked, they found that her belongings were left behind, but what spooked them the most, and left the woman giving a reaction as if she was in an actual robbery scene, was that they found a tool, a professional tool that is specifically used to open hotel room doors for robbery.
Alright y'all, so I went back and was looking at the video of that girl from the other day, right? Because I'm thinking maybe somebody must be following her because I found that thing in the bathroom. Like, you know, it makes sense that somebody's probably following her. Because not just any person is going to have that tool. I mean, that tool is for getting inside of rooms. So just keep watching the screen right here, man. I saw something that just... Because I'm thinking somebody's following her.
Watch, let me fast forward. Watch this.
Watch. That's just the housekeeper down there.
See?
Right there. Right there.
I don't know what that
This is
was.
crazy. How do y'all explain that? Somebody explain that to me. And y'all think that's crazy? Keep watching like right by that door right there, by that table. Keep watching right over by there. Whole time I'm thinking somebody following her. So we trying to go over the film and just keep watching. Look. My hand is shaking. Right there.
What is that?
What the heck? Bro, that's a rock from that table right there. Those are stones and those in bowls right there by that table. And that one of them stones just fell on the floor.
And there's no way that should happen because there's no wind in there.
Wind ain't even gonna do that though. This is crazy, yo.
I don't know.
Somebody explain this to me. Please somebody explain to me what the hell that just was. Look, I don't be believing in ghosts and stuff like that, but I will say, since I've been working here, I have become a little bit more like open-minded, because I've witnessed some weird stuff here. But maybe it's just like because it's an old place. You know, sometimes old places be like creaking and just be hearing different. Just be like hearing different little noises and stuff like that. When it's an older building. But housekeeping. It's like all my stuff is just left here. It's crazy. You said what?
Don't get me on camera.
No, this is ridiculous. What the heck is this doing in here? Yo, hold on, y'all. Why the f is in here? Hold this. Yo, y'all. This is crazy.
Oh my God. What? What?
I don't understand why the woman was screaming so much, as if she was actually caught in the act of being robbed. By the way, the videos of that lady who was chased are spread around. You can check the account of this man recording the aftermath, and you will find them. When it comes to evil spirits, one thing for sure that can be said about them is that they are evil. I couldn't honestly think of anything right there. Jassem is back to a place that I almost thought I had seen, due to the common theme between it and some other place this guy has previously investigated. I think this location he is investigating is a school based on the playground area. The video began while the man was just saying his prayers before he heard what sounded like something being dragged and tapping on the ground consistently. I don't know what it was, and neither did Jassem, but it got louder and louder until it completely vanished. As he continued checking around, the sounds never settled for once. They actually got more intense. At some point, the man felt like someone was running in circles around him because the running never stopped, and he had to make sure he was alone, as if it would be better to hear someone running around you and it's a jinn. Anyhow, the man never backed up nevertheless, but there was a door that slammed shut behind him twice under two different circumstances, almost telling him that he has to get out or at least leave that room where that door is. Now, when it came to the final draw, it all came down to that one chair. The chair had so much potential that the jinn pushed it to its limits. Even Jassim screamed in fear like he never had before. It was moved at first slightly, but by the end, the message was clear. Don't underestimate these jinn fellas. They pushed that chair. It almost reached the end of the hallway, and believe me, that hallway was really long.
يا ممر طويل والموقع كبير جدا جدا. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. في حد؟ سمعتوا الصوت؟ في حد؟ سمعتون؟ والله العظيم إن في واحد قاعد يركض. قسما بالله إن صوت واحد قاعد يركض والله. في حد؟ بسم الله. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء. وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤود حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. خش في مكان واطلع في مكان ثاني. أنا وين أنا الله أعلم. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. يا جماعة هذه انفتحت وهذا مرة واحدة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. هذا الكرسي يا جماعة جني. هذا كان من هناك يا جماعة جني. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا 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 لا. لا إله إلا الله.
Imagine if he decided to sit on that specific chair just to catch his breath, and while he was on it, they dragged it from under him so hard he found himself crawling. My imagination sometimes tends to be goofy. I don't exactly remember when the last one was since I featured the next group, but they weren't active for about a year, and I tried to feature them in one of my last 5 videos, but I didn't find what pleases both me and the viewer. Since I care a lot about the viewer, I have crafted this list carefully. That's why the next video is more like a warm welcome after a long break to the next group than an intense case. They decided to take themselves on a bit of a risky journey where they headed to a forest. The forest is just an ordinary forest, nothing abnormal, but what they wanted to do is abnormal. They decided to play an alternative to the Ouija board called the Spirit Session, or something like that. Don't judge me on it. That's how they described it. They write letters on a sheet of fabric and they use a small cup as a planchette. They began asking the questions, but nothing paranormal has yet to hit. But then one of them started feeling like he was being touched. They even at one point heard an unexplained sound. To take it a step further, they played the game blindfolded, and the cup did give them responses. So far, you might think that these incidents are not out of the ordinary, and the sounds they heard could be coming from the forest, insects and such. As the video was about to end, and the man was saying his last words, some figure that looked like an old ghostly pale-faced guy appeared briefly behind him and was nowhere to be found immediately after, which sent shivers down his spine.
แล้วจะปักธูปกับหัวท้าทายเขานะครับพอท้าทายเสร็จเราจะเริ่มเล่นกันเลยทีเป็นความเชื่อโบราณ ปัดทูบกับหัวคือท้าทายเขามากนะครับยะพุทธโธภายะพุทธโธภายะพุทธโธภายะขอเชิญดวงวิญญาณสัมภเวสีที่อยู่ในละแวกรอบวงผีถ้วยแก้วที่กำลังเล่นเนี่ยอัญเชิญเข้ามาอยู่ในแก้วนี้ด้วยเถิดคนลุกอ่ะอ้อตัวเราจะบอกทำไงต่อมันวนไปต่อไอ้เหี้ยขนลุกแล้วเนี่ยเหมือนบุบบับด้านหลังใช่ปิดตาเลยนะครับให้สลันทูมัดเลยมันแน่นๆนะครับใช่ครับผมเรียนลูกเสือมาผมจะมัดเงื่อนที่รอดนะครับต่อไปอาจารย์แอ๊ก็จะปิดตาเหมือนกันนะครับดูการเล่นท้าทายแล้วเริ่มแม่งคุกซุกมาเปล่าว่าเหม็นที่หมายมองไม่เห็นเลยสงสัยกระจอกเกินเขาวงภาษาเราไม่ได้เฮ้ยลำพูท้าทายไปยังไงวะมายังถ้ามาเป็นเพศอะไรก็บอกด้วยเพศหญิงเพศชายแสดงตนว่ามันเป็นขยับเราอ่ะมันเลื่อนนะเนี่ยดูซึ่งมันเลื่อนรันทูไม่ได้ดันใช่ไหมไม่ได้ดันนะณวันที่คุณเสียชีวิตคุณอายุเท่าไหร่เฮ้ยเลื่อนเฮ้ยเลื่อนไปไกลแล้วเลื่อนไกลเลยว่ะไม่ได้ดันใช่ไหมสลันไม่ได้ดันนะไปไหนณวันที่เขาเสียชีวิตอาจจะ50แต่ตอนแรกมันตรงเลข5นี่ขนาดปิดตานี่รู้สึกได้ว่าฝนตกหนักมากแล้วตอนนี้เฮ้ยใจว่าออกครับตอนนี้ก็กำลังจะเก็บของกลับบ้านนะครับฝนกำลังตกหนักนะครับผมให้ดูบรรยากาศรอบๆนี้กันนะครับแม่งสุดจริงกูบอกเลยโอเคเตรียมกลับบ้านกันดีกว่าเฮ้ยเฮียครับเฮ้ยกูเห็นแล้วแบ๊ะเห็นอะไรโอ้ยขนลุกเลยไปเก็บของ
You know what I call that old geezer ghost figure, your father at 6 a.m. in the morning while you are trying to eat a snack from the fridge. Now before you lose your mind because of this very creative joke I came up with, remember, I tried my best there to give you the chills in both ways by showing freaky videos and telling you some corny joke. Both give goosebumps, but for two separate reasons, which takes me to the last call. You should subscribe and watch the next video on screen.